Welcome back, and in our top business story, a record 4.85 million passengers passed through Dubai International Airport in January, passing the previous record set of 4.72 in July last year. The jump is a 14% increase compared to the 4.25 recorded from the same period last year, bringing the airport's rolling 12-month passenger numbers to 51.57 million. Driven by the launch of Emirates Airlines' new routes to Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires, South America was the strongest market in terms of percentage passenger growth in January at 71.4%, followed by Russia and CIS at 57.3%. With 55 hotels and 12,300 hotel rooms in 10 different countries across the Middle East, a leading hotel group met today to discuss the way forward based on their development plan. Accor Middle East announced the opening of 9 hotels in the Middle East this year. Christophe Landé, the managing director of Accor, stated that the economic downturn has affected hotels within the region during the 2009-2011 period, adding that hospitality professionals witnessed a vast drop in rates and occupancy. Accor, which provides accommodation for the upscale, budget and mid-scale market, believes that their budget hotels are the most resilient and are proving to be more popular with hotel guests.
What we've seen in 2011, the recovery which has been throughout the Gulf, more importantly for IBIS. So both, I will say, for the investors, IBIS is a typical product which is very resilient during crisis and recover much quickly when the business is coming back. And for the customer, I think it does offer an alternative, especially from the 4- or 5-star hotel.
Based on the demand and supply of the region, Accor stated that the UAE attracts visitors for both business and pleasure, and that by 2015 they aim to have 100 hotels operating within the region. They added that although the cost of the land in the UAE is expensive, options for franchising and partnership opportunities will prove to be an alternative investment.
What we do expect for 2012 is to go over 75% occupancy, and certainly in terms of ADR as well, to go over 900 dirhams. So it does show the market has well recovered in Dubai, which is quite a performance. If you think that for the past 2 years, about 18,000 rooms have opened in Dubai, what we can see, Dubai now is still perceived to be the hub and has recovered much quicker than the other countries.
The UAE's Ministry of Economy is recalling nearly 3,000 Porsche Cayenne SUVs from the country's market. The car maker is recalling up to 102,000 of its fleet globally due to faulty headlights. According to a local paper, Dr. Hachim Al-Nuaimi, the director of the Consumer Protection Department of the Ministry of Economy, was quoted as saying, among these cars, there are 1,810 vehicles that belong to Al Nabuda Motors and 1,100 cars from Ali & Sons Group. According to a Porsche SUV spokesman, the recalled models were built for 2011 and 12 and made between March 2010 and January of this year. The DFM recorded a net profit of 8 million dirhams in 2011, with total revenues reaching 176.5 million. So with that, let's now take a look at the stock indices across the GCC. To give us a wrap-up of how the world currencies reacted last week and what's forecast for this week, we earlier spoke with Gaurav Kashyap, the head of the DGCX desk at Alpari Middle East.
The Euro crosses had a very, very big week in trading, Laura, last week on the back of the announcement that Troika would be releasing the 130 bailout package for Greece, which means Greece will be avoiding an organized default and that they will be coming good on bond redemptions, which are due by March 20th, which a lot of the media was saying was the deadline for Greece. We had the euro increasing about 4% against the Japanese yen. Remember the optimism in the euro taking the euro pair higher, but the Japanese yen is also continuing to remain weak following the Bank of Japan's additional intervention measures when they increased their stimulus package by about 10 trillion yen. Looking at the USD JPY, that has also breached 80 levels, and this might present a good selling opportunity in that pair. Back to the euro, however, the euro USD also increased by about 2% on the back of renewed optimism that the contagion risk would not be spreading throughout the eurozone. Looking at the week ahead, we see now the various parliaments. We see the German parliament voting these Greek measures into play on Monday, and of course we have the EU summit, which begins on Thursday, which will basically announce how and when they will be releasing these funds to Greece based on Greece's previous measures. Now, we can expect to see a lot of fireworks in trading this week. Although we expect to see the risk sentiment keeping optimism high, we can expect to see probably a risk of about 137 to 138 maximum in the euro this week. And also we're looking at the ISM manufacturing on Thursday, which could see the growth story, seeing higher yielding assets moving higher this week.